It is 2022 and boy do I have an interesting lineup of videos planned just for you. I am kickstarting this year with one of the most discussed topic in the hobby of Keris. Keris Warangan, the mysterious art of staining Keris blades to bring out its pamur, and we are starting right now. Okay, hi guys and welcome to today's video. I hope you are all in good health and positive spirit always. We are in 2022. I would like to take this opportunity to wish all of you a happy and prosperous new year. May this new year brings you good fortune in health and wealth, and may we all be better versions of ourselves this year as compared to previous years. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is Khairi Johari, better known as Pak Jofe, the Keris Collector from Singapore, and you are watching the Keris Collector Show. If you are new to this channel, check out my channel's intro video right here. Warangan, the most complex art of this hobby, and definitely the least understood by many. Even for those who spent a lifetime with this hobby, when it comes to Keris, unfortunately, there are no satisfactory literature from the West that has reliably explained this unique stage of the Keris art. Most of the times, in my opinion, hubris from the West often attempt to generalize the art of Warangan to those of etching of Damascus steel blades. For me, this is an unfair and disrespectful comparative observation. Each cultures have their own art of weaponry, and one should not cross-compare and attempt to associate similarities and apply it as a generalized fact. Now, up to this point, I have not really concerned myself with the personal opinions and experience shared by others when it comes to the art of Keris Warangan, for a simple reason that I did not join them in their journey of experimenting with it to begin with. Hence, I cannot really have much of an opinion of their experience other than to take note of their results and observation. Online, there's never really been a comprehensive documentation of attempts to reproduce Warangan solution in real time. And that sort of gave me a figurative aha moment. Why not I take you on a journey to explore this interesting aspect together? Let me share with you in real time my experiential lesson, whereby I show you the process and outcome of the results. When it comes to Warangan in the traditional sense, its purpose is fairly straightforward. Yes, I am aware of the long-standing debate amongst collectors and connoisseurs of the Keris craft surrounding the purpose and importance of having a blade to undergo the Warangan process. On one side, we have those who are pro-Warangan, whose argument relies on the esoteric aspect to appeal to the unseen through the emergence of the pamur patterns, which are only made visible on contrast against its core iron layer once it undergoes the Warangan process. And then on the opposite spectrum of this debate are those who are against the Warangan process, based on the argument of an exoteric nature, where they argue that Warangan damages and deforms the original surface beauty of the Keris blade. For me, personally, I am taking a neutral stand on this. For now, from my personal observation, Warangan, for a time before the introduction of European steel, was an essential process to preserve the blade core material. Composing of iron as its core, in our native tropical climate, likelihood it will rust and corrode at a much faster rate if the blade is not put through the Warangan process, especially if the Keris spends most of its times out at sea or along coastal regions. Hence, it would make a logical and rational move to have the blade undergo the process we identified today as Warangan. in order to have the blade protected. For those unfamiliar with what warangan is in relation to the keris, it is a process whereby the keris blade is treated chemically to promote the formation of a protective layer that slows down the rusting process. Traditional warangan solution is made from chemicals found in nature. I will be explaining more about warangan in this cumulative series of videos dedicated just for this topic. Essentially, in this series of videos, I will be exploring the process of manufacturing our very own warangan solution, experimenting the solution with my keris blades, and sharing the outcome of this experience with you in real time. How exciting is that? I hope that will keep you coming back for more. So, for today, we will start off with the very first essential step that must be prepared well in advance before you even start to grind your warangan ingredient. Now, before I proceed any further, let me be clear that throughout this series of videos, we will be working with the mineral element of warangan. I repeat, mineral elements that is extracted from mineral rock examples and not the refined active chemical ingredient, which has been purified to its highest concentration. The purified chemical composition is extremely hazardous to work with without a safe, controlled environment, and in truth is not the traditional formulation used by our forefathers. I will explain more on that in the next video, so do bear with me for this one. Meanwhile, for today, for anyone aspiring to start making your warangan solution from scratch, you need to prepare this vital ingredient first. We will be following the traditional instructions for this recipe. And this formulation dictates that we need about 500 milliliters of aged lime juice for every 10 grams of warangan mineral material. Specifically, the juice from the limau pecel, as how our Javanese brethren describe it. To non-natives, fret not, here we know it as limau nipis, or the English equivalent key lime. Earlier, I released a video on New Year's Day showing how I performed this task of extracting the juice down to its very last drop. So happens on that day whilst doing my weekly grocery shopping, I chanced upon a pile of key limes that has ripened. Young limes are green and ripened ones are pale yellow to orange in color and appears to have shrunken in size a bit. In case you are not familiar with the difference, ripened key limes are easily confused with lemons, but it is easy to differentiate from the smell and the thickness of the skin. Essentially, from every 3 limes, you can get about 100 milliliters of lime juice. So if you need 500 milliliters, you will need about 15 to 18 key limes. For me, I was able to prepare about 750 milliliters from 18 key limes. Yes, I bought the entire lot of ripened and near ripe limes. If you are using the manual method of juicing like I did, consider this as an exercise for your hands. As you juice the lime, the residual pulp you can keep aside. Do not discard it immediately. I have shared how I extracted the remaining juices from the pulp so as not to waste any of its juice. I transferred the pulp into a sock strainer, after which I then squeezed the remaining juice out of the pulp. From the pulp of every 6 limes, I was able to squeeze out an additional 50 milliliters of lime juice. So from the pulp of 18 limes, that's an additional 150 milliliters of juice. As the juice is acidic in nature, I am inclined to store it in a glass bottle like this one. And in here, it's holding a total volume of 750 milliliters of lime juice. At this point, I know what you all must be thinking. Can we move to the next step and add in the warangan mix? Not so fast there, my friend. As per the traditional instructions, we need to set this aside and leave it undisturbed for some time. We need to give it time to ferment and allow the sediments to naturally sink to the bottom. As can you see, the color is rather cloudy yellow when freshly squeezed. We need to get this to be in a more clearer yellow state before we can proceed to the next step. So, to put it on record, I prepped this on the 1st of January of 2022 and I left it undisturbed away from direct sunlight. As of the time of this recording, which is the 5th of January of 2022, here is how the extracted juice looks like. Compare this to what it was like when it was just juiced. The sediments are sinking and collecting to the bottom of the container, and as you can see, the juice appears to be separating. The cleared juice is the part which I will be using in the next stage, but that will take about a month's time. In this experiment, I will leave the juice to sit for 30 days undisturbed before using it for the Warangan mix. So till then, this bottle will be left to sit until the 5th of February. Meanwhile, I can prepare another batch of lime juice for future use and experiments. As I have mentioned earlier, this series of video is an experiential show and tell in real time. And I hope to get you excited and follow up on the progress together with me. The end goal is to produce the proverbial mother solution, which will eventually become the key catalyst to producing more effective Warangan solution in a much more shorter period of time in the future. I have the Warangan mineral specimen ready on hand, so I am in no hurry to waste any mineral sample. Haste makes waste, or so they say. So before I conclude today's video, in summary, the length of the process to producing Warangan the traditional way is a time-consuming and painstakingly labor-intensive process. This is the first time I myself am preparing Warangan solution in accordance to traditional methods, and I figured why not share each step and stage of the process with you. In my next video from this series, I will talk more on the mineral Warangan itself. So keep a lookout for that video. In the meantime, I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences with making Warangan. Please share with me your Warangan stories via the comments. I am looking forward to learning more from all of you experienced Warangan masters out there. That is all for today's video. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope this video adds value to you and may you learn something new and useful from watching this. I look forward to reading your feedback in the comment section, so please feel free to leave me your comments and I will personally reply to you. If you like what you have watched today, please show me your support by clicking the like, subscribe and bell notification icon. So until we meet in my next video, this is Keris Johari, better known as Pak Jofe, the Keris Collector from Singapore, snapping out. See you in my next video. Bye bye.